Many times we have desired training on individual basis, either expressed or not expressed, and we have felt within ourselves privately, if only I could have more training. If there was a school I could attend, and through that school I could get a lot that I'll be able to minister effectively for the glory of God. But we have seen people that have had that desire fulfilled. They've gone for training. Or maybe they have come for training here at the IBTC when we were still operating the IBTC. Yet they have discovered at the end of the training that it is not what you have, it is who lives in you. What you have, the knowledge you have gained, these things are very useful. They're very good. But it is not what you have in the head or in the mind that really makes you successful eventually on the long run. It is who you possess and who possesses you. All our needs are met in Christ. Our needs in ministration. We'll all discover that they are in Christ Jesus. If he lives within us and he is allowed to direct, to control, and to lead and to use us, a lot can be done. At other times, apart from training, we have felt sometimes, if only I could be less busy, if I could be allowed to concentrate on things spiritual. Do not get myself involved with things that are physical, like thinking about the church building, thinking about the administration, thinking about the training of the workers, thinking about all the other things that are just perhaps physical, administrative, or just management activities in the church. If I could only have all the time to myself to pray, to plan, to prepare my messages, only preach, and let all the other people in the church do the rest of the things, I think I would have been more successful. And there are ministers that have arranged things like that they never get involved with anything except preaching and praying in their churches. And yet they have discovered exactly the same thing as they knew before. No growth. The power of God had not actually moved like they supposed the power of God will move. So they feel, what's the matter? Why is it like this? That now the physical had been taken off, the administrative has been taken off, all the things I thought were hindering me, all these things have been taken off, and yet the work is not being done. Then they think of another thing again. Maybe it's this place where I am that actually is hindering me. This is not my place. I am misplaced. If I could just pray and I could have the freedom and liberty to be where I know the Spirit wants me, I think I'll be doing well. I'll be doing fine. So he prays. And he requires for a change. If he is under a pastor, under a state leader, perhaps the pastor or the state leader condescends and he says, if you feel that's the best for you, and you feel if you're in such a place, you'll be all right. Okay, move there. Then we'll take the person there, we'll bring him to another place. Now he is happy for the first few days, the first few weeks. And he begins to see that this place is harder than where I left. The demons must have known that I really wanted to succeed. And here am I now, before I came, they have come. I think the problem is being in the deeper life system, organization, and system. I'm not free, no. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. I know if I could have liberty and just be free. If I want to fast for 7 days, I fast. If I want to preach for 3 hours, I preach. If I want to have a convocation, seminar, what else now, crusade, anything I want to have, I have anytime. All this going up and down. Saturday, every Saturday, come to the state capital, come to this one, come to Lagos, come to IBTC, come to this. That's the thing that is not making me successful. And I know that I know what I have. I know what I can do. I know my calling. I know the things that if I had the liberty that I could do. I think that if I'm just on my own, nobody watching over me, nobody saying, why did you do this? Why didn't you do this? I think I know the answer. I think I can succeed. But I must pray before I face that state representative. Because he's going to be asking me a lot of questions. Why are you going? You know, this is a place for you. The best is that you stay with me. I know all the arguments, all the reasoning they are going to, but he doesn't understand. But there's something within me. That fire, I'm not going to allow anybody to quench it. That power within me, I'm not going to allow anybody to just cover it up in a corner somewhere in a local government area. I am going to do this. I'm going to make up my mind. Whoever I offend, whoever gets disappointed, all these other brothers that will come to talk to me and say, brother, where are you going again? This is our place. This is our ministry. This is our church. I'm just going to make up my mind and determine, because if I don't do it, I will not become a Billy Graham. Because Billy Graham had been under one Baptist church somewhere, directing him. Don't go this way. Don't go that way. Don't go that way. How will he do what he's doing now? I will make it. And so he makes up his mind. And then he goes to state representative and says, excuse me, sir. I want to tell you what God has been telling me. I resisted it. I rejected it. I said, no, we're all here together now. I cannot do this. And God said, I must do it. I pleaded with God. And I told God, oh God, I know what you've been telling me. I respect my state representative. I love him. He's like my real father in the Lord. But the pressure was too much for me. I said, you will be praying for me. You are still my father. Any problem I have, I will still come back to you. But God is telling me, and he has been, in fact, I could not eat. I could not sleep until I told God that, God, I will obey you. And the state leader said, what's the matter? What is it now? Is it marriage? What am I doing with marriage? What is it now? And God has been telling me to live the deeper life. All that we do in deeper life, I agree. In fact, I don't understand why God is telling me like this. But I've resisted it long enough. And eventually, it was when I said, oh God, thy will be done, I had peace. And when I decided I will come to you, in fact, the prayer I prayed, because the way you love me, the way you've been taking care of me in this ministry, of all the pastors and of all our workers, I know how you take me. And yet, when God began to deal with me like this, what will I do now? So, my leader, you are still my leader. Anywhere I go, if I go Holland, if I go Jamaica, if I go anywhere, you are still my leader. Please be praying for me. Any problem I have, you are still my counselor. Who do I have? All this all over Nigeria, all these other evangelists who are wasting their time. I respect this deeper life so much. If it's not for God that is telling me just to live like this, thank you, sir. I know you want me to do the will of God. Is that not so, sir? And eventually, he says, okay, the will of the Lord be done. And then you go. How about the location where you were before? Well, if you want another person to take over, or if you want me to even start there and just change the signboard, since it's the same gospel. No, Lagos will not allow that for me. Just you can live there. Where are you going to be now? I'm still praying. I'm still finding out this, because God has been, just a step at a time, God has been leading me. And that is how I've been. Like I came here today now, For me, I will not. I woke up this and God said, today is the time. This is the day of action. Go to a state leader now. That's why I came today. Since God began to deal with me, I just listen to God and I obey God. Okay. Then he goes. Now he has established. For the first few days he's asking, God, you delivered me from the yoke of deeper life. The rope they tied in my leg. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. You caught that rope. God, this is the greatest thing you have done for me in my life. I thank you. And he begins to preach. And then all these primary school children, 10 of them, they came. And all the old women carrying cassava from farm, 5 of them, they came. Oh, he's saying, I will soon have the breakthrough. That is how Deeper Life itself started. They started with 15 people. These 5 cassava women, they are enough for me at the beginning. And all these 10 secondary, primary school children will start there. And then, after 5 months, no more than 16 people. After 1 year, he prays, he fasts. Then some of these familiar spirit ladies, they come. They sing chorus. They pray. And then there are people that come to say, Pastor, how are you? Washing pastor's clothes. There is liberty, all that Deeper Life restriction. Women must not come and wash your clothes. Women must not come and cook for you. Women must not come and do this. Keep up. Women. There is liberty. Who was watching after Peter like that? Or Paul like that? And they begin to wash his clothes. They cook for him. Thank God now. I'm a GS myself. And it becomes a GS over 20 people. And he continues like that. Then he begins to commit adultery. Fasting, he cannot fast anymore. Prayer, he cannot pray anymore. And he's still managing. No, I will not allow them to think that I made a mistake. God will forgive. Anything that a man does, God will forgive. David committed adultery. God forgives. Solomon was a king. Everybody has his own weakness. This is my weakness. God will help me. He patches up. Then eventually, one of those girls became pregnant. Without even remembering to carry his Dake's Bible, he ran away to another state. And is hiding himself there. Everywhere when he goes to market, in that far away place that he goes, if he sees anybody from that village, he'll be have they had that information? Have they known I'm the owner of that pregnancy? He ruins his life. It is not, what you need is to be indwelt by God. It's not the liberty you think you need. It is not, if I go for training in Bible school, if I move from this location to this location, if I live a deeper life, if I leave this state, if I cross over from one state to another, that's not the answer. That's not the solution. The thing is being dwelt by God. And when you are indwelt by God, anywhere you are, the power of the Lord within you will work mightily through you. And I believe all these things you have heard all through this week, you have not had them for nothing. It is going to bear fruit. Amen. And you will succeed in Jesus' name. Amen. We know that when we are born again,